monster roll call!
Beotodus!
Banbaro!
Velkhana!
Wait, is that it? Is that it? I don't. Is that it? Okay, so what you're telling me is there's only 3, probably 4 new monsters in Iceborne.
Disappointed!
Okay, look, I painted a harsher picture there, hello fellow hunters, than I intended, because I am loving the Iceborne roster. There is a lot left for mystery. Velkhana looks like a fascinating fight, the focus on badass variants, the subspecies look to be the best they've ever done, and really, I just... if I hear one person say they're just another disappointing reskin, seriously, the amount of "it's just a pick, pookie, that's lame," you ignorant soul! It is a pookie that can turn itself into a water turret. Be careful what you say, for you know not what you do. But I can't deny that perhaps less so for world-only players, because you're getting a sleuth of old monsters that for you are new monsters, but I feel like I'm not completely wrong in saying that for veteran hunters, it might be a little bit anticlimactic, at least compared to what we're used to only get 3 new monsters, maybe 4 if the Everwyrm turns out to be something substantial, and no new skeletons or category of wyvern or type of creature, and again, maybe the Everwyrm might address that too, but generally speaking, in that department, in terms of pure new creations, additions to the world of Monster Hunter, it's definitely lacking. And look, in world-based that was acceptable. It's a whole new engine, a whole new way of doing things, and to get as many new monsters as we did was fantastic. I really would have been surprised if we'd started seeing whole new categories of wyvern. But now to see that still not change in Iceborne, you know, but let's not go too crazy, right? Before we start getting as mental as a Gypsaros in the mating season. Let's look at the numbers. Make sure this isn't a little bit of like nostalgia bias talking. The first gen compared to its G rank entries then only really gained subspecies and Yangaruga. So that's just one new guy. Okay, alright, we're beating that, thoroughly thrashing it. The second gen to its G rank games, well, they gained a Cantor, Tigrex, Nagakuga, Eucanlos, and Queen Vespoid. That is a full 5 there, so a little bit more, but about equivalent. But then it really steps up. If you go from Monster Hunter Tri to its G-rank equivalent games, we gain a Zuros, Great Rogi, Duramboros, Lagombi, Nibbleswath, Volvidon, Zenogre, Amatsu, Brachydios, Diamoralis, for a grand total of 10, on top of introducing rare species and generally a lot of good stuff there. 4 gets a bit trickier when you take into account how it was essentially divided in 2, with 4 to 4 Ultimate and then Generations to Generations Ultimate, but either way, base games to G rank we gain Seregios, Gogmazios, Deviants, which are in themselves ridiculous and definitely what I would consider a breath of fresh air, Glavenus, Gameth, Astalos, Mizitsune, Great Macau, Malfestio, Nakakos, Valstrax, and Atalkar, for a grand total of 11. So yeah, previously, G-rank games added a lot in terms of, well, fully new creatures to them. And that really doesn't seem to be happening. It seems like we're headed for a roster of maybe even 30 monsters, which is amazing for a G-rank expansion, but 25 of them are going to be just, well, subspecies, variants, and old returning faces, which isn't inherently bad. It's not. It's still going to be phenomenal fun, and just, I cannot wait. But it just struck me the other day, the inspiration of this video, we haven't had a new monster revealed since the initial trailer.
Wait a minute!
And it made me curious to this. And the thing is, I think more than just the volume of new is not having a new skeleton, a new actual type of creation. Because if you look all the way back, if you went from the first gen to the second gen, you gained your fanged beasts, your conga la 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 la, your crabs, your tentacle balloons,
Aye.
and of course the pseudo-wyverns. Then, from the 2nd gen to the 3rd, we gained the Leviathans, we gained the Brutes, and we gained the Fanged Wyvern, the singular, in Zenoga, but still technically a new category. Then, from the 3rd gen to the 4th, we got the insects, we got Celtus Queen and the Spidery, which was Nacilla. They're technically 2 different categories. Amphibian, we got the Snake Wyverns, and then the new kind of gore megalary shape that Nergigante so mirrors. And hey, Atalcar is a brand new shape too, if we're going to be pedantic. But then going from the 4th to the 5th, we got just more of the same. Incredibly well done, fascinating and fun, but more of the same nonetheless. I guess technically speaking, the most unique skeleton we've seen in World so far is Leshen? Me. So I was so dearly hoping that Iceborne would pull that from somewhere and give us that something wyvern, that new wyvern, or at the very least reintroduce literally any of the fanged beasts, the Leviathans, the Carapaceons, the Neopterans, the Termosians, the Amphibians, the Snake Wyverns. Just please, please, for the love of haunting fucking Gog, please bring one of them back. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And to me, as much as I am going to adore Iceborne, there's always going to be this little thought in my head that just kind of says, what if? What if that could have been? Oh, you know? And look, eventually we're going to get Monster Hunter World 2 or the 6th gen, however form that takes, and there's no doubt in my mind that's when we'll start seeing true diversification of the roster again. I realise Iceborne's probably too soon to ask for it when we're working with this whole new engine, with this whole new, well, world. But I had a little bit of hope. And talking of hope, I am still hoping to be surprised, but generally speaking, I thought you guys might be interested in, well, specifically, the numbers there on how it's broken down in the past. I knew I found it fascinating to actually go and check what really did get added to the game over time, and are you okay with just Beotodus, Banbaro, Velkhana, and probably whatever the Everwyrm is, being the only new monsters in a roster nearly 30 strong? I feel like inherently I am, but it also feels like wasted potential. I have to believe there is a twist in the tale yet to come, and I will admit getting new subspecies of old favorites like Acidic Glavenus is an absolute treat, and that I completely adore. And as I said, the new subspecies I genuinely believe to be the best they have ever done. Seeing how they fight, see how completely different they act, well, that is just fantastic. They are going to be a whole new experience, even if the form is ever so slightly familiar. Though I will admit, okay, they are so well done, so different, so refreshing in how they operate, fight, and execute, that it almost feels like something like Water Pookie Pookie could have been a new monster. You could give that moveset a double-ended hosepipe beast that becomes a turret and splits water beams with its tongue and has this crazy water manipulation jet cutter action. You could totally have put that on a new coral monster. I don't think it needed to be a coral Pookie Pookie so much as that's what they ended up having to do because they just couldn't cram in that many new monsters. The subspecies are so good that a cynical part of me thinks that they really should be new monsters and not subspecies. Maybe that's just a me thing, but there you are. And I will definitely admit, I am very excited for the variants, the focus on them, bringing them back, making them a staple probably of endgame, making them have such a big effect on what we do, almost doubling the amount of them that we've ever had in the past. That alone is enough to make me be like, everything I just said? Who cares? Let's do it. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was interesting, thought it'd be a little bit of fun, and I would love you guys to weigh in. What are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about the focus on kind of same but tweaked and now it's different compared to just fully new? Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, hit the bell, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.
Rage Gaming with the video flow.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.